This week on Across the Arrowverse, Zari's stuck on her head, Oliver just can't get it right, and Barry can't count in tallies. Hi everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Matthew Vose.
And I'm Catherine Kay.
This week we are discussing the episodes The Flash, The Elongated Night Rises, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Here I Go Again, and Arrow, We Fall. What? What are you laughing at?
Did they really call that Flash episode The Elongated Night Rises?
Yes.
Fair enough.
As in The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah.
No, I get the reference. It's just amusing. Sorry.
I think all of his episodes so far have been some elongated pun.
Right.
I think his introduction was an elongated day's journey into night. Something like that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's just ridiculous to you,
It's
is
just daft.
Okay. Should we start there?
Yeah.
Flash was not in his own show much. This is just showing him coping to prison life. Tangentially connected by the trickster being broken out of prison by his mum.
Yes.
And then Barry bonding with his dad's friend, whose name I've already forgotten.
Oh, Big Sir? Big Sir.
Yes, but I was wondering what his actual name was.
Kevin? I don't know.
But the whole story was about setting up what is the team doing without him.
Yeah.
With Elongated Man, as he's now called.
Yeah.
Becoming the prime superhero, as it were. What did you think of that? He had a bit more evolution again.
I enjoyed it. Or maybe it's just because he was less sketchy this week. I don't know. There was less sketchiness. He's been horrendously sexist and just a bit grim in previous episodes. Not so much this week.
And just a bit ridiculous at times.
Yes.
Just, why is they keeping this guy around? He's not smart. He's not actually that useful. He's running away from danger. This is the episode they dealt with those problems and hopefully moved him on.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think there was a bit of moving into his role as a superhero. I thought it was quite funny, the whole thing of he was happy to be a superhero because he thought he was invincible.
Yeah.
And then he just totally was like, I'm crying like a baby when he realised he wasn't. But, I liked all of that. I thought that was quite fun. Believable
to this character, I think.
Yes. I mean, this is going to sound really daft. His character is not it's not like a normal person. Do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't. He himself is almost like a caricature.
Yeah.
He's got a very exaggerated set of personality characteristics as well as his superpowers. But yeah, as you say, it was a believable episode for someone who is such a caricature of himself to develop it.
Yeah, and he finally got his decent suit.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. But it is the tropey Hollywood thing of he wants adoration, and when he finally does the right thing, he's very happy to get it.
Yes. Yeah.
But not actually learning to live without that adoration.
No, but then I suppose that's at least something different to the other people in the show. Yes.
Yeah, it is good to have a variety.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not everyone is Barry or...
No, exactly.
Wally.
Yeah. Where's Wally?
Well. Harrison Wells had a particularly good week again. Mostly he didn't get to do much except get rid of the acidity of the...
Oh, yes.
Or get rid of the acid, as it were.
Yeah, his job was to be Mr. Clever.
Yes. But I particularly liked when the few moments he had about that where they were bugging him about fixing it, and he was saying, look, it's very hard to stop something that didn't exist before today.
Yes.
But then they put the pressure and say, you've got 58 minutes, and his line of, I need 57.
Yeah.
I mean, he needed more than that. But he has become a confident person and is now working on his own. I actually quite like where they've gotten him. He doesn't need to be there for advice or moral support. Some of the stuff he's done in the past and the different Welleses have done.
Yes.
Now he's a useful tool and part of the team.
No, I stand by my previous comments of this is my favourite Wells, especially now he's not got a daughter that's being held prisoner by Zoom.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed him and Cisco making Caitlin turn into Killer Frost, especially when they were just like shouted out the name of her childhood bully. Just amusing. That kind of humour works for me.
Yeah, and that's following up last week's Cisco's speech about making her scared and that puppies are going to die.
Yes.
But Wells is there doing some of the lines along with him. So I'm hoping this actually becomes a trend of we need Killer Frost. They do something funny. She becomes Killer Frost.
Yes.
I will quite enjoy that if that's how it goes.
Yeah, that can work. I do feel at some point they need to bring Caitlin and Killer Frost into one at some point. It still feels a little bit disjointed that they are really two different characters.
Yes, they're absolutely written as two different people at the moment with two different instincts. And I suspect we're going to get an episode of maybe Killer Frost doesn't like being kept in a box and brought out for parties.
Yes.
So she goes on a rampage or something. Maybe we're going to have you don't quite have this as under control as you think you do.
Agree.
Maybe, perhaps, possibly.
I think so.
Yeah. A very nice Bebo reference.
Poor Bebo got actually no, I love the Bebos, all of the Bebos, both poor melted Bebo and the evil weaponized Bebos.
Attacking Bebos, yeah.
I like them better than the actual toy, to be fair.
Yeah. Bebo was the first half of the season on Legends. I was about to wonder if they were airing about the same time, but no, they aired a couple of months apart. Great. I will be happy if Bebo becomes a thing across all the shows, actually. Yeah.
Crossover Bebo.
Yeah, exactly. Crisis on Infinite Bebos. No, it would just be Bebo Crisis, wouldn't it? That would be the name of it.
What, Bebo Crisis?
Bebo Crisis. And they all have to come together to stop one dying Bebo.
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I'm imagining lots of little Bebos combining in a sort of Power Rangers way to form a big Bebo.
There were lots of good stretching puns, particularly when Barry was talking to him and said something like, "That's not a stretch for you."
Yeah,
I quite liked it. Just throwing them in every so often. That's quite nice. But particularly, I think we should talk about the villains. I think when they had them previously, and it was Mark Hamill with his son.
Yes,
there was still quite a sense of actually these dudes could get up to some proper chaos. They will kill people. They will destruct things. I got the same level of malevolence with Trickster and his mum, but not with... They didn't actually do anything. And when he was shooting everything at Dibney could just have stopped him. Like, he took a very long time to take things out of his pockets and shoot at him and stuff.
Yeah.
Dibney could have just hit him at some point in that.
Yeah.
A bit more caricature, I think.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Joker in the Michael Keaton Batman movies.
Okay, yeah.
A sort of comedic, or maybe the Penguin more than the Joker. But it reminded me of a sort of comedic Batman villain.
Yeah, very much like the animated series style of villains and...
Or even from, I don't know who was Batman in this one, but the sort of pow, bang comic.
Oh, the Adam West.
Yeah. That sort of, it was quite campy.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't dislike it for that, but it was quite campy.
No. His mum had a very sort of Harlequin going on with her.
That too.
Yeah. The prankster, I think she ended up being.
Yes, prank,
yes. But yeah, the joke of, oh, I'm off my meds. Oh, you didn't take them for me? Oh, I love you. That's very Joker Harley.
Right.
Yeah. It feels like it.
Yes, no, but I agree.
And we ended with the wedding waitress.
Yeah, that probably was the most interesting thing of the whole show.
Yeah.
That's that. I like the long game nature of that.
Yep.
I'd have totally wouldn't have recognised who she was if you hadn't told me, so
thank
you.
Yeah, it has been a good while.
It's been a while,
but I've been expecting to see her again.
Right.
And it's really hard. It's probably more to do with the way she looks than anything, but I feel like she's going to be Barry and Iris's daughter.
It's not impossible.
That's where I feel like this is going to come from. Some junior Alan speedster.
Junior Alan. Do you think she's coming back in time because she, for some reason, has grown up without her parents?
Maybe.
I don't know. Because you'd have thought that if she is the daughter of Barry and Iris, that she'd be well versed in not messing with the timeline.
Yeah.
Given what happened with Barry and flipping genders of Diggle's daughter and all of that sort of stuff.
Assuming that's assuming she's done time travel through the Speed Force. Because time travel through Legends works slightly differently.
Yeah,
there are no small impacts like that. There are big impacts. Whereas through the Speed Force, it's ripples.
Right.
From a central point.
Yeah, I hadn't thought that through. It's interesting that they do have such different views on time travel.
So, I suspect we're going to get several episodes of finding out about her before she comes in, if at all. I mean, I wondered if they were going to take this out to season 2, to the next season, which is why I was saying that, but it's so early in the season.
Yeah, no, I think she'll have to come to fruition this season.
Surely.
Yeah.
Surely.
I think so.
Yeah.
But it might be another 5-10 episodes before we really know what's happening.
Yeah, because DeVoe wasn't even in this episode, I think. So we're not dealing with the season large story.
Yeah, you're right. He wasn't in it at all, was he?
Okay. Okay. Be interesting to see what they do with her.
Yes.
Because she was making notes in some funny language.
But overall, I would say I enjoyed this week a lot more than last week.
Yes, I think it stepped up the fun, the humour, the ensemble came to play a bit more because Barry was diminished. And Barry was doing a good job of looking like someone in prison trying to keep his head down.
Yeah, I was quite enjoying that.
Yeah.
I was like, this is a bit refreshing, it's a bit different.
Yeah, I like it. And I liked Iris's running the team again and being worried about Dibney and trying to give him the message. I feel like she's still missing slightly... just the capacity to be believed when she tells people things. So he went to Barry to talk about why he should go and do it. The stuff that she'd been telling him earlier anyway, basically. So perhaps she just lacks a bit of that because she's not a superhero who's been in these situations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll see. But I like her as team leader. It's good. It's working for me.
Can I just make one more point about the Flash?
Yeah.
Glass would not behave the way that the glass behaved when he stuck his hand through it.
Well, no, and I'm not sure that was a risk worth taking. And
no,
yeah,
that was most silly.
Yeah, the whole thing is a bit. Yes. Anyway, let's talk about Arrow. Arrow, We Fall. Tracking Felicity and Oliver's relationship. Very good, very strong.
Yeah.
They're now in a committed, solid relationship, so it's good. Tracking Oliver as a leader, very good.
Yeah, he pulled it off this week, didn't he?
Yeah, I think him as mayor particularly worked very well. Within the teams, it was John's idea to share with Team B.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. I'm pleased they got to that point very quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's good, and I will actually appreciate it if we keep the teams separate for a while.
Yes.
If we allow them to grow as their own thing.
Yes, it will feel like a bit of a gimmick if they went immediately back together.
Yeah.
And it also wouldn't feel like a true reconciliation. I mean, eventually they're going to have to get back together. Or Team B will be diminished by us losing one of their number before the end of the season, which I think is my left field prediction. I'm just not sure which one or who.
Yeah, okay. So you think we'd lose one of them and Lance?
Oh, I don't care about that.
Because I still think he's the one who's dying this season, and I'm amazed he's not dead already, given the way they're writing him.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to be fairly solid this episode, and it was still Thea doing everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Paul Blackthorne at the moment, the actor.
Do you know?
Because...
Maybe just like, I'm not really interested, just give me like 1 or 2 small scenes.
Yeah. I'll
wing my way through them.
But we also had Oliver and his son a lot more. This was the week dealing with the issue with his son. I really liked the cycle that took, I just feel we've trodden this path a couple of times.
Yeah, hopefully this is it now.
Yeah.
And maybe where this is going is his son becoming a Superboy?
Yeah, helping in some way. Or being sent off because he can't be in danger like that.
Don't know.
He feels a bit too old and too much of a character now to be sent off.
Yeah.
He's not Wally, you know.
Is he interesting enough to remain in the series?
I think so, if, like you say, they make him Superboy, New Speedy, something. Although they're setting him up as being really smart.
They are.
New Overwatch. Support for Team B, something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not quite sure where this is going yet.
Oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? If he became the Overwatch for Team B behind his father's back. Lies and secrets, Catherine. Oh,
I don't like lies and secrets, but that's very CW.
Yeah. The speeches at the end, there's this weird assumption that one parent is okay, so hey, now I've got Felicity, I don't worry about becoming an orphan anymore.
Yeah, it was a little bit odd.
It's a bit weird. The overall story, we seem to be moving it forward. Caden James is stepping up and doing stuff now.
But it's a bit irritating, again, that it's become, hey, the prime motivation is that he thinks you killed his son, and therefore he wants to make you suffer.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have the most elaborate plan ever for devastation and destruction of a whole city.
Yeah.
Well, is there more straightforward ways of achieving the goal of making Oliver Queen suffer?
Yeah. I feel like maybe there's more to the story than we're being given.
Yeah.
And that's just the first draft of that. I quite like Caden James turning up and saying he was Ben Gale. This is the person who played Ben Linus, who pretended to be Henry Gale on Lost. So that's quite nice.
Lovely.
Assuming that's a reference. But either way, it's good.
Fun.
But largely Arrow was another week of a slight step on the path to whatever the finale is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few interesting things in it. I quite like what was going on with, not Black Canary, Dinah. What's she called? Well,
I think she is Black Canary.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. I think she's taken the mantle.
Oh, okay.
As to her.
Fair enough. What's Laurel called then?
Well, she was Black Canary, and evil Laurel is Black Siren.
Right, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I thought I thought the development with her and her ex-boyfriend and him being a double agent, I thought that was interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe that's something worth keeping an eye on.
Yes.
Team B, they are really trying to write them as something a little bit different.
Yes.
Yeah. Do I keep calling them Team B? Team Barrow?
Team Barrow.
Team B Arrow.
Nice.
So then we come to Legends. Here I go again. A time loop episode, which we always like a time loop episode. It's usually quite a fun way to write and do interesting things. They largely did everything you get in every time episode. In both. It's an internal time loop, so she knows what's going on and other people don't, but they end up helping her as though they're in the time loop, which is very clever. Any thoughts?
Lots of fun.
Yeah?
Lots of fun. I really enjoyed it. And Nate wasn't such an idiot for much of it.
No, I think for almost all of it, in fact. He was really good. Yeah, he was pretty solid. I
really enjoyed the Groundhog Day reference.
Yeah.
Only trumped by my enjoyment of your reaction at the Star Trek reference.
Well, it's true. Star Trek did it first.
Yeah.
A year before Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good fun. And I enjoyed the silly montage. I quite liked the whole, Nate going, well, no consequences. Look at all the fun you could have. I thought that was great fun.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, and I started the episode by being irritated with Izari because she was so petulant. And then I really enjoyed how much they let her work through her anger and develop her. I mean, it was a little bit like cheating. Fast forward your emotional connection to your team.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
But it is a good connection now.
Yes.
And they've given everyone growth by viewing them from a different viewpoint. So we haven't had to have a Sarah episode where we deal with her emotions over being captain. She's got a couple of scenes and we understand her a bit more. We understand Ray's dealing with being given the information by Constantine, and we understand a bit more about Amaya and Nate's relationship, and everyone's had moments in this.
Yes.
Rory was comic relief as always.
Yes. Yeah, Rory, who types on an old-fashioned typewriter whilst in a time-travelling spaceship, and not just that, but he types on a typewriter with his leather gloves on.
Yeah.
I mean, I do enjoy the comic relief that Rory brings, but you're quite right, he was comic relief this week.
And then we came to the resolution of the time loop, though. And it's not actually... A show that does time travel didn't actually use time travel to do its time loop. Yeah. That feels like something of a cop-out.
I mean, not finishing your stories with, and it was all a dream, is one of the earliest things you're taught in English language.
Yeah, you know? And that's basically what it was. Hey, if we're finished here, I'll wake you up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really like seeing Gideon in a body either. I prefer Gideon as a disembodied voice.
Well, they did it last season with Rip.
Yeah.
And hey, she looks like someone on the CW, so let's bring her back.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, very well done all round. Very good. They were able to just keep it on the ship this week.
Yeah, nice and cheap.
Yep.
Only limited numbers of sets.
Yeah, exactly. Sets that we largely already have. Good bottle episode.
Yeah, so. Exactly.
There was a nice reference that I'm not sure is actually a reference to anything or not, but when she was doing her bit Zari was doing her bit at the beginning, she says something like, we're going to add 1.21 terahertz or terawatts. And I'm sure in Back to the Future, it's 1.21 gigawatts that they need.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but it just feels like that's an interesting number to have picked.
Yeah. Fun.
Who knows? Another bit of fun was her being shrunk with Ray, because we can do that now.
Yeah.
And shrink them down, and then him saying we're in stealth mode, which just means library voices.
Yes, that was fun. That was fun.
Because there are times that's basically what they do, because they're not very good at sneaky.
No.
So great, call attention to it. Bit of lampshading.
I like it.
And then we had the ending. The introduction of Wally.
Yeah.
Rip Hunter has tracked down Wally to a monastery where he is meditating, it seems.
Meditating,
yes.
Being all zen.
And looking good. Wally appears to have gotten rid of the silly haircut, has a man bun, but it is...
One doesn't like a man bun, but...
but is looking solid and prepared for action now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and is appearing in the show we thought he was going to appear in.
Yeah, we've expected him to crop up somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense largely having any superpowers in Arrow.
No.
For the most part, they avoid having that. So this is the show that needs him. And particularly with Firestorm leaving, with Wentworth Miller leaving, there is probably a place for him now. And actually, it's the episode where they bring the team together and have the team working together. That's the episode where they bring a new character in.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Nice.
And he can come and lampshade some of the goings on, but we've moved all our characters on a step.
Yes.
Yeah. It's good.
Good fun.
The season plot, though, had nothing going on here.
It did make me wonder. This was one of those episodes where, I mean, obviously, if Wally is part of the gang next episode, they can't just slot this episode anywhere. But it did feel like this was one of those episodes which did not have to be inserted in the season necessarily in exactly the right place. Yeah.
With the exception of the bookends, and then had they done it last week, they would have had to have an extra thing for Wentworth Miller.
Yeah.
An extra few lines or something. But by and large, this is a story they could have had in their back pockets.
Yeah.
Which, fine.
Yeah.
But they also have a reduced season. And we last week we compared it to Discovery, and I talked about the one-off episode to Discovery. Arguably the best episode of the season on that was a time loop episode where Harry Mudd kept taking the ship over again and again and again.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
And that was pretty much the best of the season.
Yeah.
And they've done the same over here on Legends. Interesting. But a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Me
I thought
too.
Legends is continuing to be strong after last week's very strong showing.
Yes, not quite as strong as last week, but only because I was irritated by the end. It was all a dream.
Yeah, they didn't quite stick the landing.
Yes.
It would have been... I was expecting it to be either something she'd done was causing the time loop, which would have been fine, or someone snuck a bomb on and something she had done was causing the time loop. Something going on there. Yes. Like you say, the fact it ended up with her, even by Gideon rejecting it, sort of implying it was a dream. I mean, she has too much knowledge for it to have been a dream, but there's just, yeah.
I preferred the answer of the weird dude in the trash compactor.
Yes. Yeah.
I could have bought that.
But it could very easily have been, oh, you ingested some time sludge, so that's affected your... on Star Trek, this would have been, hey, we're detecting increased chronotons in your body, you're clearly, time looping or something.
Looping,
yeah,
yes.
Exactly. But very, very good episode.
Very good.
Did any of our characters across all the episodes have a good week?
Maybe Dibney. I think
that's why I think as well. He was given the space to grow, given the space to do stuff, but he delivered on those points. It was believable for the character what he went through. Like you say, the thing of him thinking he's invulnerable, but then not being prepared to face the danger at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good fun.
Any more thoughts?
I don't think so. I think all round a pretty decent week.
Yeah. Yeah. Arrow, I think, is still middling. I feel like we're about the point where in previous seasons you would have gone, I'm out.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think probably one more episode, and if we still weren't really unsure what on earth was going on with Cade and get James, I would have tapped out.
Right.
But yeah.
Not this year.
Nope.
This year you're in it to the end.
In it.
That wraps us up for another week. If you have thoughts, questions, or comments, you can use the hashtag ATEAV on Twitter, or find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as Eloquent Gushing. If you want to help support us, please check out our Patreon page, where you can get access to exclusive content across all our shows. Go to patreon.com/eloquentgushing and visit the homepage, eloquentgushing.com, to sign up for the weekly newsletter about the goings-on across all our shows. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you across the Arrowverse. Bum bum. Bum bum.
Across the Arrowverse is an Eloquent Gushing production. For more shows you'll love, please visit eloquentgushing.com.